Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday morning, 5 minutes till 7. The family just left. I went in and did a quick gathering up of the trash and got that all out to the curb because today they're doing trash a day early for the holiday. I'm ready to get busy in the shop. I got a few things I want to work on today. I'm going to go ahead and finish up these 5 30 cal pins today, or I hope to finish them up. Keep your fingers crossed. I need to finish putting together that dish for the micro mesh. And I found another blank that I need to get turned. It doesn't have to go today, but it's a Raggedy Ann and Andy blank that my wife had me make up for one of her friends. Michael DeLauter did the casting for me, and I'm just going to turn it. So those things, the Raggedy Ann I could hold off because I don't need that till Christmas. The other, and the dish I could hold off. I don't have to have that, but I really would like to get those pins turned. And I'd like to do a turn between centers, and I'd also like to get over here on my pressure pot. We talked about this the other day. I'd like to build a floor for my pressure pot so that everything that goes in there sets level. Those are the things I'm going to attempt to get done today, and I'm sure there'll be other things that get tossed in there as we go, and I will keep you guys posted. I got a floor made for the bottom of my pressure pot. This is a 1/4 inch piece of, it actually is acrylic. The guy that I got it from, and it was given to me, said that he thought it was Lexan, but it seems to be a little too brittle. I used to work for GE Plastics, and Lexan is bulletproof. I used to have a sheet of it that was 1 inch thick that had a 45 caliber bullet lodged in the middle of it because it wouldn't penetrate. This right here, I don't believe is Lexan, but that doesn't matter. It's 1/4 inch thick. It's got plenty of rigidity. I cut a 9-inch circle, and I'm putting it right down in the bottom. Let me show you. Of my pressure pot here. It makes for a nice sturdy floor. If anything gets below it, I'll be able to see that. And if anything gets on it, it's not a big deal. I'm happy about that because those pressure pots, they are concave on the bottom. So what that's going to do, it always will ensure that my molds are level. You know, if you don't do something like that, your mold can get off a little bit. I've had a number of people say they use rice or they use sand, different things like that in the bottom of the pot. My concern with that, and the reason why I decided to do the floor, was I was afraid it would hold moisture. And the last thing I want is to put moisture, in the pot or have moisture in the pot, because that's not really great with Alumilite. The floor, I started out, I was going to use a piece of MDF, and I happened to see that plexiglass up there. And I thought, well, MDF could absorb moisture too, so maybe I'll just go ahead and try this acrylic. And it seems to work great. It's very rigid. I can push on it, but I can't really flex it, so it's going to hold up well. It's the perfect diameter for the pot. Next up, I think I need to gather some materials to see about building a little racking system to be able to set my molds down into my pot. Hey guys, I just came back from a lunch break, and while I was at lunch, I was copying all the files off my phone, just to kind of make it easier tonight when I go in the house, because I've been doing a lot of recording today for videos in hopes that, I can put together some future videos for my other channel. And something occurred to me, and that is I hadn't been doing a lot of updates today. So I want to tell you guys what I did. You saw that I made the floor for the pressure pot. I went back and I cut out 4 discs at 8 3/4. So you can see they fit nicely inside the pressure pot with plenty of room on either side. Next time I go to the hardware store, I'm going to grab a piece of all thread and a bag of nuts, and we are going to basically turn that into, it'll be 3 shelves and a top. And the idea on the top is when the air comes in, if I have a mold in there, I don't want the air blowing into the mold and maybe, blowing the resin out all over the pot. So the top one will be a shield. So it'll just be 4. They'll be spaced evenly. The bottom one will be it'll sit on the bottom of the pot, and you'll be able to put a couple of blanks on there or whatever, and so on and so on. So I got that done. And then I also, over here, on these 30 cal pins, I got the 2 Army blanks done. I got the 2 Air Force blanks done. They're solid black. I got the Navy blank on the lathe. I'm getting ready to turn it. I hadn't started yet. I took a break before I did that. The Kentucky Coffee, the gentleman stopped by today and picked up the Kentucky Coffee blanks, or I'm sorry, seam rippers, so they're done. So I'm just going to go turn this Navy blank, and once I get it turned, I'm going to assemble those pins. I'll come back and show you guys what they look like. I am doing a video on that. I don't know when it'll be out because I've got 4 or 5 videos that I've been working on. So, I'm trying to get some banked up so that I can get through the holidays. But I hope later today, once I get done with those, I think I want to try the turn between centers again. I'm pretty psyched about trying that, so we'll see how that goes. And I'll keep you guys posted whatever I do. So I'm making good progress. I just really wished I dug through everything looking for a piece of all thread. And you want to know the other thing I couldn't believe I didn't have? I have got 1/2 inch PVC pipe coming out my ears. I don't have a single piece of 3/4 inch PVC pipe. How in the world, because I got everything else. I mean, I got junk everywhere, out in the shed, I mean, everywhere. So when I go to the hardware store, I'm going to pick up a 3/4 inch piece of PVC pipe because I want to make a rack to hold either 4 or 6 of those, just depending on, you know, how much room I have to go in my pressure pot, because that's what I want to use. I want to use a 9-inch section of that to make blanks for my kitless pins eventually when I get into that. And I thought I would, you know, go ahead while I'm doing the video on the rack. I'd like to do a video on that rack because it kind of plays along in the progress of things. So I'm making forward progress. Hopefully I'll be casting soon. I'm not going to rush it because, like I said, I want to have everything ready to go. But I'm going to get back to work and I'll let you know what happens. I got my bullet pins done. There's the navy one. The others, the sleeve, I guess when they fire the bullet, it depends on how much it expands at the end of the casing. Those were just a little bit loose. So what I did is I put just a dot of CA glue on the inside of each of them and then went ahead and pressed it in. That should help it keep from moving in the future. I even shined the cartridges up. Don't they look nice? What I'll do is I'll come back and show you guys what they look like once the glue dries and I can go ahead and put the transmission nib section in. Hello everybody. I just got done doing a turn between centers test. And let me pop one of these bushings off of here. And I want you to take a look at that. Dead on accurate. So that makes me 100% sure that the problem I was having was with my old lathe. I just shot a quick video on this. It's only going to be probably 5 or 6 minutes, and I'm going to pop that out there when I get around to editing the video, so that everyone knows what's going on. These bushings are great quality. I'd love to have several more sets of them, and eventually, I'm sure I will. As time goes on, I'll start leaning this way. The advantage of turning between centers, something like this. I did a slimline pin because it has the least amount of meat next to the bushing of any pin that I know of. So I thought it'd be a great test because if anything's going to screw up, it's going to be a slimline. Turn between centers, it should be truer than turning on a mandrel, and you don't have to worry about the flex of the mandrel, you know, if that was to happen, causing an issue. Now I know you have the mandrel saver, which stops a lot of that, but if your mandrel is bent, you know, even the mandrel saver is probably not going to help you. But this will stop that from happening, because once they're locked between centers, they're not going anywhere. And let me set that down. So I'm really happy about that. This has just been a great couple of days. I tell you what, I've had an amazing time. I've tried some things. A lot of things are working. I am honestly not sure what I'm going to work on at the moment. It's not that I've got everything done. It's just that I got done what I wanted to get done. I need to take a step back and look at what's left to do and start getting on that. I'm going to keep you guys posted on what I do as soon as I know what that is. Well, guys, I ended up finding my next project. I went ahead and assembled this. This is a 3D printed micro mesh dispenser with a water tray so that you can just dip your micro mesh as you pull it out of the dispenser. As you use a pad, you just drop it right back in the top, and then they're always in the right order. I added a couple of spacers to the back, and the reason being is there are times when I like to use micro mesh dry, and if this is all the way down, your hand is in the water to get the pad. With it up like this, I can come in above the water, pull my pad out, and use it dry if that's what I want to do. That's a neat little 3D printed dispenser. Sean Shirey sent that to me. When I was doing my lathe opening video, I pulled out a plastic bag and those two pieces were in it. And I thought they were guards for the lathe. I was so excited. I remember after the fact, he sent me a message and said, hey, he goes, those weren't guards. They were actually, you know, a 3D printed micro mesh dispensing tray. And then I remembered that we talked about that. He even told me in a note, I got a couple of these. I'm going to send you one. So thank you, Sean, for that. I truly appreciate it. And in the moment, I just was so excited. I would never have remembered. All right. I'm kind of trying to decide what I want to get into next. I got to be careful. It is 3:30. I don't want to get into anything huge, but I need to get some stuff set up maybe for the next time I'm in the shop. Okay guys, I got the next project. This is not going to be recorded for a video. I'll probably show a few photos here as I go. I may pop something on Instagram if it goes well. I've got this blank. This is the inside of a tankard. Met a guy who makes big wooden tankards and he cuts the insides out. I may have mentioned that before. And I bought, I don't know, several of these, maybe a dozen or 15 for $3 from him. So what I'm gonna do is put this on my lathe. I'm gonna true it up and I'm going to attempt to turn my first ever lidded box. Hopefully it goes well, and I've got a bunch more of these up there. I'll try a few more, and when I get comfortable, if I get comfortable, I'll do a video on them. But for now, I'm just gonna kind of keep it to just, I'm gonna turn the music on, and I'm just gonna relax, and I'm gonna have a little bit of fun. But I will keep you guys posted on how it goes. Well guys, I'm calling it a night. My daughter's dancing, so I need to go get a shower, get cleaned up, and go watch that. Let me show you what I got so far. This is the bottom to my lidded box, and there's the top. I'm in the process of trying to fit that tenon into the top, and then once I do, I'll be able to put the two items together, hold it with some type of a soft touch, and you know, trim it and sand it so that it all matches up real nicely. Being that it's the first one, I don't expect it to look all that nice, but I got to learn somehow. I got to learn sometime, and this is working out well for me. So I'm going to call it a night. You guys, thanks for hanging out with me today. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon.